Ladies and gentlemen, the Raila Odinga's referendum notice is like shaking William Samoei Ruto. What do I mean by saying that? Is because William Ruto understands a kind of dark secret behind the referendum notice of Raila Amolo Odinga, as the possibility is that people might shift and distance from his kind of leadership in the Republic of Kenya. It is just, I think, 2005 when we had the first, of course, the referendum. And this referendum, the yes won and the no lost. Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki led the yes team. William Ruto and others led the no team. In other words, this constitution of 2010 that we are now using, William Ruto came out rejecting the constitution of 2010. And he led a team that voted no to this constitution. But Raila Odinga, Mwai Kibaki, Kalonzo Musyoka, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, people like Nderitu Mureithi were there, Jeremiah Kioni were there, Kina Balala, Kiraitu Murungi, Mwangi Kiunjuri, Mudavadi, and all those who rallied behind Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki, they ensured that they won that referendum. The secret behind this referendum, why William Ruto does not want this referendum, and that is why he came out fighting the BBI. The BBI was coming in form of referendum. It was coming in form of referendum. And because William Ruto understands the littleness of the referendum in the Republic of Kenya, as 2005, he came out conceding defeat after Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki's team came out showing William Ruto's team dust. And that kind of referendum wave, William Ruto understands very well. The wave is capable of what? And that is why, during the BBI, William Ruto came out rejecting. Why? Because after 2005, William Ruto, as he came out, conceding defeat.
Team, we want to thank God for giving us an opportunity and giving the people of this country the grand opportunity to participate and take part in the historic event of a referendum for a new constitution for our country. We want specifically to congratulate the people of Kenya for taking part in this event in their numbers and doing so peacefully. Against all predictions, we have seen one of the most peaceful referenda in our country. And congratulations to all who made it possible for us as a nation to come together, participate in this referendum, make our choices in a peaceful manner. We want to single out the gallant and brave Kenyans, 2 million of them, or 2 million plus, who, against all odds, resisted blackmail and manipulation to take their position in this country, point out the flaws and fundamental contentious issues in the draft, and voted no in this referendum. We want to, as members of the No team, on the basis of the provisional results that have been released, as members of the No team, we want to say that we respect the verdict that has been given by the majority of voters who participated in this event and voted to endorse the draft constitution. We respect that verdict. As Democrats, we believe that the majority have had their way while we have had our say. because of the numbers that have voted to date or up to this time, about just over 55% of registered voters have participated in this process. We recognize that approximately 45% of Kenyans have either abstained from this process, and another almost 16% have voted against the draft. It is obvious, therefore, that a majority of Kenyans have either voted against or abstained from the...
Why is it that William Ruto came out trembling? 2005. Because when you look at the team that rallied behind Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki, together with Kalonzo Musyoka, it was a tense for William Ruto. You know, William Ruto was just testing waters in 2005. When this wave was coming, William Ruto thought like he was going to defeat this because Kenyans were going to reject the new constitution. But because of the regrouping of Mwai Kibaki's team, Raila Odinga's team, Kalonzo Musyoka's team, this managed the team to win against William Ruto by then. So after that, when Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki winning that referendum moment, they came out with their team having a national press briefing, and this is how things went.
Haya, vijana mpo, Wakenya mpo, Wakenya mpo, asanteni sana. Anayesikio na asikie, anaye macho na aone. Wakenya wamezungumza. Wakenya wamezungumza kwa kauli moja. Wamesema wamechoka, wanataka mwanzo mpya, na wamepiga kura kwa fujo kwa katiba mpya. Sasa kwanza tunataka kuchukua fursa hii kutoa shukrani kwa Wakenya wote ambaye walijitokeza kupiga kura kwa katiba mpya. Pili, tunatoa shukrani kwa tume ya uchaguzi kwa kufanya maandalizi sawasawa kwa kupiga kura ya katiba. Tatu, tunatoa shukrani kwa kamati ya wataalam ambaye ilijishughulisha na kutayarisha hiyo katiba. Lakini vile vile tunatoa shukrani kwa wananchi wa Kenya wote kwa kupiga kura kwa amani, na vile vile kwa polisi kutoa ulinzi sawasawa kwa Wakenya wote. Lakini mwisho mpaka nitoa shukrani kwanza kwa kiongozi Rais Mwai Kibaki ambaye alijitokeza na akaenda mbele na akatoa uongozi sawasawa, akalinda hii timu yetu mpaka timu ikaenda mpaka ikashinda. Hii timu yetu ilikuwa ni timu kubwa. Makamu wa Rais Kalonzo Musyoka, natoa shukrani kwake. Manaibu ya Waziri Mkuu Musalia Mudavadi, Uhuru Kenyatta, mawaziri wote, mawabunge wote ambaye walikuwa katika timu hii kubwa sana ya kijani. Hii timu iliongozwa na Rais Kibaki na mimi nikawa kama substitute. Na vile mliona, wanasema kutangulia sio kufika. Hii timu yetu ilicheza mzuri mpaka ipata ushindi. Sasa wananchi wa Kenya, hii sio mwisho wala ni mwanzo. Kupata katiba mpya ni mwanzo. Sasa ndio kazi inaanza.
Raila Odinga, after earlier on, there was a kind of shockwave after the general election of 2022. We saw Raila Odinga and his team coming out to storm the street. After storming the street, they had an agreement in between the Kenya Kwanza government and the Azimio opposition, where they had their team to at least understand and have such several recommendations on how the cost of living was going to be actualized. Then number two, the IEBC servers to be audited, then the reconstitution of the IEBC commissioners, then multipartism. But again, when you look at the report of Raila Amolo Odinga today, you will realize something that is very crucial. Raila Odinga is coming out to say, because there are certain suggestions I'm accepting in this dialogue with him. And the main issue that was bringing this referendum was about the office of the opposition leader and the office of the prime cabinet in the Republic of Kenya. So because Raila Odinga never wanted this kind of mischief where people always storm the court to stop the kind of process that is there. So Raila Odinga wants the people to come out and decide. And by that process, it will be a kind of referendum. About that, Raila Odinga came out saying, because the dialogue report is not touching about the issue of high cost of living, now he wants to go back to the people and consult them. After consulting them, they are going to have a new route on how they are going to handle the issue of high cost of living. But about the referendum is about two issues: the formation of the office of the opposition leader and also the prime cabinet. Raila Odinga came out saying this.
Talks, but we will treat the hard line on the cost of living at the beginning of another phase of this struggle. We will seek other ways to press the government to listen to the cries of the people and bring down the cost of living. The other ways will include, but will not be limited to, consultations with the people. At all times, we will retain the right to call on the people to take steps that we deem necessary to force the government to lower the cost of living. We also support the document with the proviso that certain aspects must be approved by the people by way of a referendum. To create the office of the leader of opposition or to formalize the office of the prime cabinet secretary, the people of Kenya have to have their say by way of a referendum. Besides, it is a constitutional requirement that such significant restructuring of government must go through a referendum to avoid the mischief that may be played by some people going to court. It is also our stand that this country cannot continue moving forward by being undecided. We have to agree whether we want a parliamentary, presidential system or a hybrid system. Thank you. End of the statement.
For me, I do understand that William Ruto does not want a referendum. And you will be shocked if William Ruto will come out to lead no, if any case. But the possibilities are William Ruto might come out accepting, because he was his team came out suggesting about the office of the opposition leader and the prime cabinet. But again, William Ruto is supporting those two. So if there are kind of suggestions that are going to pile up in this referendum, because it might not be about the opposition office and the prime cabinet office. This might be several complex issues that Kenyans are going to decide towards the referendum. And that is why the last referendum, there's some issues that William Ruto was agreeing in 2005, and he was not able to support to be the yes, to be on the yes side. So William Ruto came out rejecting everything. So the possibilities are, Ruto has already suggested two things that Raila Odinga also is supporting when it comes to the referendum we're going to have. And mark my words, we are going to have referendum. The way the Raila Odinga notice came in today, it was a clear indication that the trajectory that Raila Odinga is having is directly towards the referendum. And because this failed last year, when it comes to the BBI, and there were certain suggestions and recommendations there, so this made Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta to suggest this kind of referendum. And because it was blocked, they had no way to move and continue, but just to stay and respect the law. So is there a possibility of Raila Odinga bringing the referendum back? And if it's going to bring the referendum back, then it means one man, one vote, one shilling is going to be formulated there. Then it means William Ruto is going to reject it. And in any case William Ruto is going to reject, he understands the littleness of rejecting the referendum led by Raila Odinga. I'm telling you. And that is whatever is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you so much because of your support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video.